medicine in Austria. But where she is right now, I think she's making a lot of contribution. Education is the most. Teacher is a small canal, but he has to palm tree as his child. So everybody, prime minister, all the parliamentarians. I don't know whether some of them are still here. Parliamentarians are our Pekin. Those of us who are teachers. So education is the most important industry that feeds other industries, and people should not joke with it. I was telling my colleague, Sam Wadi, when I attended a World Educational Summit in Doha, the United Nations, the Director General of UNESCO came there to give a talk. He was saying that the teacher is the fulcrum of education, because the teacher interacts with the parents of the students, interacts with the students, interacts with the guardians. So all stakeholders have something to do with the teacher. And he therefore said the teacher must be reasonably paid in order to gain the respect of those stakeholders. Let me thank you very well for listening to me. Thank you very much.
I'm actually very impressed. We appointed her a few years ago to represent the River State Scholarship Board here in the UK, following a lot of problems arising from welfare and other educational things that was happening here. And some schools were still having problems in some schools with the authorities in those schools and so on. We couldn't be flying in and flying out, so we decided to appoint her. And I think that from what we have done, it appears that we did the right thing. And we have almost all the complaints and problems which was supposed to be coming in here from Nigeria to come and address our students here. She's been doing that and been doing a very good job. And it's good to say good is good. But the governor thought that he would have to train our own people, our students, to assist in the oil company, to teach project management and so many things. So when we were selecting students for this project, this program, they went through examination. Now I want to say that because people came here on merit. If you failed the examination, you were not taken. Simple as that. And those who passed are those who that came here. You will ask, are we having results to that effect? The answer is yes. And when you go through my book, my article, you will find out that we actually did the right thing. And so you have to talk about the goals. The governor has a mission. The vision is to train these people, and the mission is to provide the infrastructure. Before he came in as governor, most of our primary schools were not really good enough. That is the infrastructure, the buildings. Teachers have been there, but you need to provide the facilities for them to work. So he came in and then looked at the primary schools and copied models. In fact, I understand the students are schooling here. So he copied, according to him, he copied the model of primary schools here and then built them in River State. I was supposed to have come, but I had 2 days to prepare for this paper, and I would have brought you the pictures. If you look at the primary schools, it's just like, just like high school. Later degrees. So I do know that according to Blooms, he said that you can train any daft to be the best. So we in our system, really, I don't think the system has fallen. You will judge that. If our people can compete, both nationally and internationally, and that means that this fall in standard could be a passive fall. Even the Chief Inspector of Education of Britain, talking about fall in standard, may be a passive fall, because I didn't see statistics, which he backed up with that statement. I didn't see that. So but we need how to beef up our school system every time. That is what they may be saying. The standards have to be maintained. You have to keep struggling. Now, what is the problem of standard in Nigeria? The problem of standards fluctuating as a result of provisions in terms of budgeting, infrastructural provision, encouragement, as the prof has said, paying teachers very well. Teachers are not well paid. They are not recognized. If you are working somewhere and you're not recognized, no incentives, you won't do well. There's no question about that. That's as simple as that. So our teachers have to be encouraged, they have to be well paid, they have to be respected, and because we are training, we are the pan canal training, allowing the pantry to go. So they have to encourage the system, and that would be budgeting, political will. The present governor has a will to improve the school system, and it's working. And so while there's a political will, you can now provide the infrastructure, the facilities to beef up, to encourage, improve the standard.
Issues. So, to begin with, my name is called Queen Achinewhu-Nworgu, or some of you may know me as Chioma, the Nigerian way of saying it. And I basically started off with a mission in 2008 to help young people and to be able to be a role model in society. I started off with this plan of the Year of Greater Achievement, which goes into other years. Began with this audio CD, which I'm holding here. I brought a box with me to show you some of the examples of my achievement and how I've been using these examples to impact youths. I started off doing my BA Honours degree in Mass Communication and Sociology. And then I graduated in 2001, and from there I went on to doing a master's degree in education and graduated with that one. I started to go to schools, colleges and universities because I realised there was a need and there was a gap in the research of how young people could be academically successful. And I discovered that if young people are get into this motto and strategy of trying to achieve as many things as possible, just like they're out there maybe making problems with crime or challenges and all the things that are going on that are wrong in society, I thought if they could do the opposite, then maybe that would motivate them to get to the end of the year and say, each year, and say, you know what, I've achieved all these great things. I'm now going to continue and try and outdo myself again. Try to outdo those that have been made a rich power, made some really good changes in society. There are many people that have made great changes in society, such as the Lords here and the MPs that we've seen today. Like one of the speakers have said, we also have seen that teachers have a very great impact. But there are a lot of people inspiring people that actually have an impact too. So I wanted to mention some of the things I've achieved. One of the things I've achieved is raising over £1,600 for charity, which I did for Rainbow Child Foundation Charity in Headway, and basically won the Miss Charity Europe Award and title, and basically got the opportunity to go to Disneyland Paris to compete for Face of Europe. From there I also opened up the shop for Stardust Boutique by winning the title of Miss Stardust Boutique. I won and raised money for charity for Kent and for UK, and basically released my audio CD called The Year Because of You, and this comprises of different songs to motivate young people, one of them being You Can Achieve It, Believe It. So this is my audio CD here. This is the motivational one. This CD has 7 steps on how they can achieve great things, such as defining the word great, reflecting on past achievements, setting bigger goals, create the vision. Going back to the goals part, Brian Tracy is one of the most entrepreneurial and amazing speakers in the world. He said that goals should be set and it should be enforced in education. That is something that needs to be incorporated. And the funny thing is, most people think that it's not important. It's not that important to set goals, to try and see the vision. But if we were to use that and utilize it and you actually educate young people to start setting goals from an early age, maybe they will actually have a more successful and bright future. So young people, if they are encouraged to create, to move, to actually achieve, they can actually go on to do things, becoming more powerful, having a message, having a voice, feeling as if they are important and worthy in our society, which they are. Many of you believe this, and I'm sure that many of you will continue to encourage young people, and in the UK. Well, many of them have got scholarships and they have been transported over to the United Kingdom, which is a wonderful thing. They have these scholarships, and this also includes the financial support, the accommodation, they have living allowance and everything. I cannot thank the Nigerian governor enough for what he has done for the Nigerian students. They've come here to gain an education, to take back their education and to push young people out there to believe that they can go out there and do the same. Many of them, as some of the leaders have said, have gained distinctions, first-class degrees, and so on and so forth, and actually have had open doors into education, more education in terms of PhDs and master's degrees. Can support youths in education and after education by helping them to find careers, maybe government schemes, new schemes being introduced, and also talent developing schemes too. Encourage young people through these youth centres that have been closed down, and also don't just think about the under 18s or the under 25s. Think about those young people between the ages of 25 and 35. Because what about them? You know, maybe there are trusts and there's support and grants and loans for the ones that are of a certain age. But what about the ones that are 32? And they are still a young person and they still need the support, entrepreneurial support, support in education. And why does education have to be more money? Why couldn't it be less money? Why can't we decrease these fees? And it's even for international students, because they do struggle. So we need to think about what we're doing in our community, in our city, in our town, in our village, wherever it is you're from, whatever it is you're doing. We need to think about, what are we really doing? Are we actually just in our own area and not caring about the youth? Are we forcing young people to just do whatever we want them to do? Do we really care about their future? Did anybody inspire you to be where you are today? I remember one of my lecturers, my teachers actually, saying to me, "You're going to get an A." I said to her, I just thought to myself, me, an A? I'm a D student in that class. But she said, "No, you're going to get an A." And I believed what she said. I worked effectively. I pushed myself. I wanted to show her, I'm going to get that A. I'm not a D student in your class. I'm actually an A student. I worked effectively. I got an A star. And I couldn't believe it. And if we, thank you. And if we can encourage young people, we will see the same results. Howard Gardner talks about the multiple intelligences. They're not just one area of intelligence. It's not just to be a medical doctor. It's not just to be a singer, whatever it is. He talks about the footballer, you know, that they're intelligent too because they have a skill. What skill does your son or your daughter have? And how can you encourage them to develop that skill? Like I said to you before, I believe in combining education with creativity, talent, and also entrepreneurship. Being a businesswoman, having my own pageant now that I've just set up, having these crowns and titles and all these awards and everything, it's not just something to put on the back seat and say, "Oh, I just achieved it. I believed and I achieved and it's nothing." To me, it's something, because I use it as a platform to start to impact the youths, to push them, to inspire them, to teach them, to encourage them, and to help them to believe that all things are possible. And I believe if we take on these strategies of looking at ways of combining education